Hey, what's up, guys? It's Film Geek here, and I just got back from seeing True Grit, starring Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, and newcomer Haley Steinfeld, or Steinfeld, or something like that. This movie has been getting a lot of Oscar buzz already, and I thought the movie was really good, but I don't think it was Best Picture good. At least not in my opinion. I thought it was good, just not great, you know. I thought that the pacing worked really well in this movie. I really liked the story. I've never seen the original True Grit, so I can't really compare the two. But I can say that I think the Coen brothers did a really good job with the writing and the directing of this film. However, when you look at the writing, these people talk kind of weird in this movie. There were, to the point where there were a couple of times when it took me a second to realize what was actually being said. Because they had like the old-timey speak mixed with southern accents and southern slang, and it was just a little hard to, not all the time, but sometimes it felt a little hard to keep up with what the dialogue was really saying. And on top of that, there were a couple scenes where the editing was kind of shit and also made me a little on the confused side. For instance, the scene near the beginning where Maddie is kind of like negotiating with the like bank broker dude that sold her deceased father like the horses. She kind of like there's like a back and forth as she negotiates a price with him, and it took me a little while to figure out exactly what they were talking about, because there was no spacing in the pacing. Not rhyming on purpose there, but there was no space for any reaction, really. It was just banter after banter after banter, and with no pausing, no reaction shots, nothing. So it was just hitting you right after another with each line of dialogue, and it went a little too fast for my taste, to the point where it took me a couple beats to catch up. And that's not really good. You don't really want your audience feeling like they're trailing behind. At least I don't think so. And so that kind of knocked it down a little bit for me, that the pacing of the editing was like that in scenes where there was so much dialogue. And I understand that they did it to make the scenes not draw out as long as they would have otherwise been, but I think it kind of hurt those scenes. So that's dialogue. Cinematography, the thing looked great. Every Coen Brothers movie looks great. Then we get to the acting. I've heard rumors already. I've heard there's already buzz that Jeff Bridges is going to be nominated for an Oscar for his performance in this. I don't think he deserves it. He did good. His performance was there, but the accent that he was using during this movie made it hard to really understand what he was saying sometimes. And again, much like where I don't want to try to keep up with what is being said, I want to actually hear what's being said and understand what the character just said as well. And there were just a few times where you couldn't understand what he just said. I've also heard that there is some Oscar buzz around Matt Damon for his performance as LaBeef. Again, I don't think he deserves it at all. In this case, I did not really see anything special about Matt Damon's performance in this movie. It was pretty much just standard Matt Damon. However, I do think that Haley Steinfeld, who played the character Maddie, definitely deserves an Oscar nod. Do I think she should win the Oscar for Best Actress? No, that pretty much goes to Natalie Portman for Black Swan, but I definitely think that Haley Steinfeld deserves the nod. She deserves a nomination. She deserves the credit for giving a stellar performance. She was by far and away the best part of this movie. And I would suggest checking this movie out just to see her, because she's a brand new actress. It looks like, let's see, what has she done? Before True Grit, looks like she did one episode of Sons of Tucson. She did a movie, like a TV movie called Summer Camp, and then she did some short films. So she's basically totally fresh actress, and she was out freaking standing. Best part of this movie. Totally give her props. Can't wait to see her in more roles in the future, because this girl is pretty much going to go places. So all in all, good movie, yes. Great movie, not so much. Best picture movie, definitely not. Acting is there for the most part. Story is definitely there. Cinematography, of course, is there. Dialogue and pacing, at times. So all in all, I give True Grit a 3.5 out of 5. Check you guys next time.